All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. 7 a.m. right on the dot here, Canada. Thank you so much for joining me on another live stream. Foods for Health, Coach Nate here. Again, going to be getting into another interesting topic, which I think, one of the things that we really haven't discussed too much on the channel, but I think you guys are going to get a lot of great value out of. We know individuals with, and I'll just give just a quick statistic and why I wanted to cover this topic today. We know that individuals in the United States, over 40 million individuals are dealing with kidney disease, some form of kidney disease. And a big population, a big proportion of that, over 40 million, so well over 10%, don't even know that they're dealing with kidney disease, right? Kidney failure being a consequence, a chronic consequence of kidney disease. So we want to make sure the kidneys are healthy. A lot of important functions, which we're going to go over today. So I wanted to make sure that we actually touched on kidney health, what are the signs and symptoms of kidney disease, and then how we can try to improve the health of our kidneys. What are some things that we can do? What are some things that we can eat? Right? Things of that nature. So again, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Again, we are into February already, February the 2nd. Hard to believe, unbelievable. It seems like time is just going faster and faster every time I get on these streams. So like I said, kidney disease, very, very, unfortunately, very, very common, becoming more and more common, affecting more and more. I said the United States, but we know now also that over 10% of the world's population is now dealing with kidney disease. All right, now let's just talk about what are some of the functions of the kidneys. Well, we can break it down. Let's keep it simple. All right, one, very important, right, having to do with electrolytes. All right, these can kind of go together. All right, it's going to control water balance. All right, so the kidneys control water balance in the body and help to maintain a balance of electrolytes. So electrolyte balance as well. All right, and remember, we've talked about two different electrolytes. We've talked about potassium in the past, all right, and we also talked a little bit about sodium, all right, two important electrolytes for the body. Now, we also know that the kidneys are very important for removing toxins and waste from the body. We need our kidneys to be functioning properly. That way that we're removing waste and toxins, all right, getting rid of that either through the process of urination, all right, so really making sure that we're removing toxins and waste and the byproducts of that from the body. Jair, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jair, thank you so much. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Great to have you in chat. Thanks so much for the thumbs up, guys. Right now, we're just getting really quickly into the kidneys, all right, and into the functions of the kidneys and why it's important to make sure that we're keeping our kidneys healthy. The other important function, all right, help to control blood pressure, all right, and that's another huge one, guys, all right, and this is why our kidney health is so important, all right. One, control water in the balance in the body, electrolyte balance, remove toxins and waste from the body. Also going to control acid base, all right, balance of the body. Again, very important. Now, I like to talk a little bit about the heart health benefits that having proper and healthy functioning kidneys are going to have, because they're going to help to control blood pressure, all right? Can help to control blood pressure, help individuals with hypertension, and we know just how prominent heart health, heart disease, heart-related issues are in the world today. It's well over 1/3 of the world's population. It's continuing to go up. Heart health, all right, there's an epidemic of heart disease that's out there right now, and that is worldwide. Just like I mentioned, 10% of the worldwide population is dealing with kidney health issues. For heart health issues, all right, it's well over 1/3 of the population. So huge number, all right? Very important to make sure that those kidneys are healthy, all right? Now, another important function, all right, is that it can help to activate vitamin D. And we've talked about the importance of vitamin D at great length in these live streams. I have a number of different videos about the importance of vitamin D, especially for right now with its immune system, boosting functions, even with bone health, everything. There's tons of stuff, mood, tons of stuff having to do with vitamin D. So making sure that our kidneys are healthy, one, all right, so that we can help to control water, help to maintain electrolyte balance for both of those, remove toxins and waste, all right, reduce hypertension, all right, and help us to activate that vitamin D, that sunshine vitamin that's super important for our overall health. Remember, vitamin D, a lot of the times, especially if you're living, again, where I am, all right, maybe where you are as well, if it's cold, not a lot of natural sunlight, we're going to be low and probably a little bit deficient in our vitamin D levels, all right? So, making sure that that's activated, it's going to be one of the functions, one of the important functions of the kidneys, all right? And vitamin D is very, very important because it's also going to help with calcium absorption. Like I said, that's why we get bone health benefits from vitamin D. We're going to have better moods, all right, as studies have shown. Now, if our moods are poor or we're dealing with some sort of, depression, anxiety type symptoms, again, you're going to want to speak with your medical practitioner. Same thing if you're dealing with any of the signs and symptoms that we're going to talk about. All right, make sure you speak with your medical practitioner. So those are our signs and symptoms, guys. If you're in chat, say hello. Let me know that you can hear me. All right, it's always great when I get some feedback from you guys. So, that would be awesome. Where you're listening from, what time it is there. I love hearing what time it is because we're starting early here. So I'd love to know what time it is. I know Jahar it's evening there, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So kidney health, super important. We know worldwide individuals, about 10%, maybe a little bit more these days, are going to be dealing with some sort of kidney disease related issue. All right, it's a common problem affecting a large proportion of the world's population. Okay, so we already know, all right, that our kidneys, vital functions, and it's a vital organ that can become damaged. We're going to become more at risk for kidney damage and for kidney disease. Our damage is going to lead to kidney disease. It creates a bigger risk factor for us. One, if we're dealing with high blood pressure, that's why it's important for the kidneys to be healthy, because remember, they're going to help to regulate hypertension, high blood pressure. All right, diabetes is also another common risk factor for kidney disease. And then you have kind of a grouping of them. All right, so diabetes, high blood pressure are going to be the big one for the kidneys. All right, then the other ones are going to be your genetics. All right, remember, I always say sometimes we pull that genetic card and then there's not much we can do, but there are things that we can do to mitigate, all right, to lower the risk. All right, but genetics will play a role. Also our age. All right, gender can play a little bit of a bigger role, but I think the two most important ones, and that we have the most control over, because we can't really control our age, we can't control our gender or our genetics, all right, those are going to put us at an increased risk, possibly, but we know that obesity, all right, can put us at an increased risk for kidney disease, what we're eating. All right, we know if we're obese, overweight, extremely obese, whatever the case is, our diet is probably poor. We're probably not getting in the proper foods to help reverse kidney disease or prevent kidney disease. So obesity is a big one, guys. Obesity is going to put us at an increased risk of kidney disease. The other one that we can control, and it's a tough one, I've been doing even a few consultations this week with individuals who want to quit smoking. Right? I know it's tough, especially when you have other goals. All right, trying to lose weight. Say you're dealing with obesity. Say you're dealing with diabetes. If we have other goals that we're working on, smoking can sometimes take a back seat. The more and more we try to accomplish, the harder it is to accomplish any of our goals. All right, but smoking is going to put us at an increased risk of kidney disease as well. All right. So high blood pressure, diabetes, genetics, gender, age, obesity, smoking. Those are probably some of our more common increased risk factors for kidney disease, guys. Veer, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate having you in here. Thanks so much for the thumbs up, guys. We're already in double digits. Appreciate that. Brown, thank you so much. Hello from Barbados. Good morning, 8 a.m. where you are. Awesome. I've been to Barbados. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country there. Great to have you in chat. Really appreciate you, Brown. Thank you so much. Veer as well to you. And Jair, I believe I'm saying that right. Thank you so much, guys. So, very important our kidneys are working properly, all right? And we want to make sure that we're not, all right? We want to make sure that we're not having waste buildup, all right? In the kidneys, all right? But we also want to know that we're making sure that we're removing waste and toxins, having our kidneys working and functioning optimally and properly, all right, just like any other vital organ, all right. Kidneys are the exact same. So very important our kidneys are working healthy. Let's just go over some quick foods. I'm going to give you guys, a lot of tips, a lot of, things that we can look for if we are dealing with kidney disease, what the signs and symptoms are. But I think some important things, all right, that we can go over as well is some preventative measures. All right, so we'll go over the signs and symptoms. Don't worry, that's coming right up here. All right, so make sure you stay tuned. Listen. For the next, I'd say probably 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to get right into those signs and symptoms. We're going to be moving at a good pace today. Also, just before we get right into it, before we get into some foods that are going to help with kidney disease, all right? Thank you, everyone who joined as a Fit Team member. Appreciate all of you. If you haven't got your free nutrition guide, the free ebook that I've completed, all right, about 50 pages, even more, 12 chapters. All right, lots of areas covered. All right, if you haven't got that yet as a Fit Team member, I know I've sent a bunch out, but if you haven't gotten that yet, I need you to send me an email. I'm going to put it in right now, foodsforhealth1@gmail.com. I need you to send me an email and then just put in the title, nutrition guide, all right, simple tips for big results, and then put your YouTube name in there. All right, if you haven't got it, I haven't gotten an email from you. If you have got it. All right, everyone that's done that, hope you're enjoying the nutrition guide again for free as a Fit Team member. All right, so again, appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much, and you can do that by hitting the join function. So thank you, everyone. Now let's get into just a few foods, all right, that can help to prevent kidney disease. Diet is very important when it comes to reversing early stages of kidney disease, all right, but also preventative effects. All right, so again, talk to your healthcare practitioner, your healthcare provider, to also determine, a healthy diet, all right, but also, if there's next steps that you need to be taking, all right, but we can make sure that we're following a kidney-friendly diet. So what does that look like? All right, well, we might need to make some dietary restrictions. All right, ones that are often recommended is that we restrict, all right, sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. Sodium and potassium are because the major thing for those are the electrolytes. All right. Also, damaged kidneys. If we're having kidney disease, guys, so we know that they're damaged and are not functioning properly, we know that it's very difficult for the kidneys to remove excess phosphorus. All right. A mineral that's found in many foods, all right, prominent, all right. So high levels, all right, of phosphorus in the body, all right, can actually do more damage to the kidneys because it can't remove that mineral, all right, from the body, from our kidneys. All right, so make sure we might need to restrict a little bit as well. All right, same thing with sodium. All right, damaged kidneys can't filter out excess sodium, which can cause hypertension, blood levels to rise. All right, so you want to try to, we definitely want to be under 2,000 milligrams per day, so under 2,000. I think if you're dealing with kidney disease, a lot of times it's going to be under 1,300. All right, normal is about 2,300 to 25. All right, a lot of times it has to be under 1,300. So keep that in mind, guys. You might need to keep sodium low and also to keep potassium lower. Again, usually recommended for potassium, same thing with sodium, about 2,000 milligrams per day. All right, we want to make sure we have less than that. Again, if our kidneys are damaged, they're not going to be functioning properly. All right, And those two, sodium and potassium, remember, those are our electrolytes. The main function of the kidneys, all right, one of the main functions is to maintain electrolyte balance and water balance. Sodium and potassium, all right, are two important electrolytes that are going to be, having a major effect on that. So what are some foods that we can eat? All right, let me just give you some quick foods that we can add to our diet to help reduce the risk of kidney disease. And if we're dealing with kidney disease, early stages, some things that we can help to reverse kidney disease. Well, one of the ones that I love, of course, your superfood blueberries. All right, blueberries are amazing. All right, I think they're an excellent food. Not only a superfood, but just overall in general. All right, for kidney health, for our overall health, I think they're a tremendous food. All right, so blueberries. All right, we talked a little bit about this in our last chat. All right, so let's just go over it quick, but then we'll want to get into signs and symptoms. All right, I think, garlic can be another important one. Olive oil can be definitely an important one. One underrated one, garlic and onions, I think very underrated when it comes to kidney health. All right, another one, all right, is going to be turnips. All right, turnips can be very helpful. Along with turnips, we can also add radishes, all right, to that. All right, and then lastly, I would just say, all right, and one that's popular for most people, just keep it in moderation, pineapples. Okay, pineapple can be helpful when it comes to kidney disease. All right, so I think some important ones here. All right, blueberries. All right, I also think garlic, onions, olive oil. All right, we can have radishes, turnips, and pineapple. I think those are some of the more important ones that we can add in there. Now, I know before we talked a little bit about foods that can help to promote the health of our kidneys, but now let's get into the signs and symptoms. All right, so totally different signs and symptoms of kidney disease. All right, so what are the signs? Now, just because you have some of these signs and symptoms does not necessarily mean that you have kidney disease. That's why you need to speak with your medical practitioner. But here are some things that we want to make sure that we're being careful of, things that we're being mindful of. All right. Again, a lot of people will see a doctor, and then the doctor can do blood and urine tests to help you kind of help make the determination if you are actually dealing with kidney disease or not. A lot of the times, individuals will be, thinking that they have kidney disease because of lower back pain. We need to know a lot of the times, just because you have lower back pain, or even a lot of the times because of lower back pain, not necessarily a sign or symptom of kidney disease. All right, the kidneys are well above the waist in the body. All right, if you have pain there, tell your doctor. But again, a lot of people become very worried, all right, once they have pain in the lower back, all right, thinking that it has to do with their kidneys. A lot of the times it's just tight muscles. All right, a lot of my clients have lower back pain. It can be SI issues, so our sacroiliac joint, so SI joint. All right, where our sacrum and our iliac join together. All right, so we want to make sure that we're separating the two. All right, so it could be SI joint issues. All right, could be a number of things. Just tight muscles through the legs. All right, adductors, our psoas muscle. All right, our glutes for sure. All right, and even the hips. All right, our hip flexors. A lot of times that can lead to lower back pain as well. I think I'm going to do a discussion on some of the muscles that can lead to lower back pain, but a lot of times it's in through our hips. It's pelvis related issues. All right, psoas muscles, like I mentioned before, adductors, all of those things, even our quads. We can have a whole discussion on that. So what are some signs and symptoms? I just want to make sure that you guys are aware. A lot of people, that they'll think lower back pain, immediately think to kidneys. Make sure, tell your doctor about that, but don't just jump to kidney disease. All right, we need to make sure that we get either a blood or urine test to make sure, right, that we can sort of nail it down and make sure that we know for sure if we have kidney disease. So what are some signs and symptoms? Well, one of the biggest ones and most common ones is going to be fatigue. All right, individuals are going to be feeling more and more tired. And the reason for this is because kidneys help to create a hormone, right? The acronym is EPO, all right? And so what that hormone does, all right, is it tells our body, signals to our body to make oxygen-carrying red blood cells. So it helps with the creation of red blood cells. As we start to have kidney damage and the kidneys we start to have a little bit more of that chronic kidney disease, we have fewer and fewer red blood cells to carry oxygen to muscles, different organs, all right, our brains, all right, very, very commonly known as anemia, which can be treated. So if we're not having those red blood cells and not being carried to the muscles, to the brain, to vital organs in the body, we have less and less EPO, that important hormone, all right, that is created by the kidneys. We're going to feel more tired, being tired all the time, even after a good night's rest. That's going to be one of the first signs and symptoms. Again, just because if you feel fatigued, does that mean that you have kidney disease? Absolutely not, but it can be a sign and symptom. Another important one, guys, all right, fatigue, all right, feeling tired all the time, all right, so low energy, all right. Another one can be feeling faint and weak, and that sort of comes from the same thing, anemia-related kidney failure issues, all right, kidney failure or kidney disease, all right. Again, less oxygen being pushed throughout the body, all right, especially to the brain. That's where we can be feeling dizzy, all right, a little bit weak, all right. Again, that's going to be coming from less oxygen being created, all right, being carried throughout the body through red blood cells. It's anemia related, all right, anemia related issues related to our kidneys not functioning properly and not creating that important hormone, EPO, all right. So it's all connected back. Fatigue, all right, and then also feeling a little bit faint, feeling dizzy, weak, things of that nature, all right. Again, if we're dealing with sort of anemia-related issues, if we're not getting enough oxygen or less oxygen or the amount of oxygen that we need, all right, so red blood cells not being created, all right, we can also have trouble focusing on a daily basis, all right. You know, sometimes we can have cognitive issues. And again, this is related to less and less red blood cells being created, anemia in the body due to kidney failure, kidney disease, a less proper functioning of the kidneys. All right, it can lead to memory issues. All right, trouble concentrating, focus. All right, memory is one of the bigger ones. All right. Short-term, a little bit, short-term memory issues, cognitive function, all right, being kind of what we'll sometimes be referred to as sort of foggy brain issues, things like that. So we want to make sure that we're aware of all of these things that are related to our red blood cells, hormone created called EPO by our kidneys, and then less and less red blood cells, anemia-related issues. All right, and again, that's going to lead to feeling fatigue, all right, fatigue all the time, all right, you just feel tired, no matter if you get a good night's rest, you just feel tired all the time, your energy is low. It can lead to you feeling dizzy or weak, again, because we're not getting the oxygen that we need that's being pushed throughout the body, carried throughout the body, all right, to vital organs, especially our brain. And then also trouble thinking, some cognitive issues, all right? Again, anemia related, all right? So brain maybe not getting enough oxygen, probably going to have some memory issues, trouble concentrating, focus is going to decline, things of that nature. Now, if you guys have any questions in the chat, please let me know, all right? Like I said, I always like good engagement in the chat. It's very, very helpful, not only for myself, but also for other individuals in the chat as well. Thank you for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. 13 thumbs up already. Thank you very much. Now, here's an interesting one. And think, right, usually if you have signs and symptoms of kidney disease, you're going to have a mixture of these signs and symptoms most commonly. So if you're dealing with some of these issues, all right, if you're feeling fatigued, tell your doctor, of course. Faint or dizzy, those are all, and you're having cognitive issues, of course you're going to want to speak with your doctor. You may be dealing with all three of them. But another common one for kidney disease is that you're feeling itchy, all right? Dry and itchy skin. The health of our kidneys has many important jobs, all right? So a healthy kidney has important jobs for the body. One of them being the removal of waste and extra fluid from the body. We also talked a little bit about making red blood cells. Now, why do we feel itchy? Sonia, great to see you. Thank you. Big shout out to you, Sonia. Good morning. Thank you for coming in. We're talking a little bit about signs and symptoms. I know we talked a little bit about, foods for kidney health, but now we want to kind of branch off into signs and symptoms of kidney disease. So Sonia, great to see you. I hope you're having a great morning. You're up nice and early. Great to have you in chat as always. So we're breaking off from that foods discussion, right? We went over it really quickly at the beginning. We talked about the functions of the kidneys. So if you want to hear a little bit more about that, we can listen to the beginning of the stream, but now we're just getting right into the signs and symptoms. All right, signs and symptoms. And the next one, all right, one that not a lot of people are going to associate with kidney disease, or, less, if the kidneys aren't functioning properly, is dry, itchy skin. Like I said, kidneys have a lot of important functions. A lot of important bodily processes have to deal with our kidneys. All right, one of them, creating red blood cells, like we just talked about. The other one is removing waste, toxins from the bloodstream. When the kidneys are starting to fail, all right, so when we're dealing with kidney disease and kidney disease-related issues, even if we have inflammation throughout the kidneys and we don't get that removal of waste, removal of fluid, all right, from the body and bloodstream, and it starts to build up in the body, all right, and in your blood, all right, it can cause severe and dry, itchy skin. All right, that's a huge one that we want to look out for. All right, we need to make sure that we're aware of dry, itchy skin. One, all right, just the proper minerals aren't being removed from the body. Excess minerals, like we talked about before, phosphorus, all right, also potassium, and then you have sodium, another electrolyte. We need to make sure that we're aware that the buildup, all right, of waste in the body, in the bloodstream, can lead to severe and itchy skin. All right, so you might break out, you might have dryness, itchy skin. A lot of times individuals will sort of describe it as itchy and, scratching a lot in different areas of the body. So itchy skin is another common sign and symptom of kidney disease. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. We're already up to 16. You guys have been climbing and climbing. Thank you so much. And Sonia, as a member here, Sonia got her free nutrition guide. If you don't have the nutrition guide, if you're listening to this now or you're going to listen to it later, if you don't have your nutrition guide, make sure you send me an email to the email that I posted there, foodsforhealth1@gmail.com. The reason why is I just don't have an email from you saying in the title, nutrition guide, simple tips for big results, and then your YouTube name in there. All right, I've given a bunch out, but I want to make sure that everyone has one, because I think for a fact that some people have not received that free ebook as a member. All right, our members, and I want to make sure all members get that book for free. It's one of the perks. So if you haven't got it, please send me that email. All right, let's continue on here, guys. So another one, all right, we know, all right, a lot of things anemia related, so fatigue, all right, sometimes trouble thinking, cognitive function, all right, declining, feeling dizzy, feeling weak. Another one can be feeling cold with anemia, to be honest with you. Thinking about it right now, I didn't write this down, but feeling cold, all right, all of the time. All right, again, that can be anemia related issues. Sometimes people might think that they're feeling cold but also have chills. All right, it could be hot where other people are finding it warm, but you might be feeling cold. All right, so sometimes feeling cold can be another symptom, and again, that's anemia related, because remember, the important function of the kidneys is creating red blood cells. Let's continue to move on, guys. Remember, we talked at the very beginning, we went over all the functions of our kidneys. Another one, remember we said to remove excess fluid, extra fluid in the body. All right, the big one, all right, it's going to help to control water balance and maintain electrolyte balance. All right, so that's why that becomes so important. All right, our kidneys help to remove excess fluid. If we're having a buildup of excess fluid, so if our kidneys are failing or if they're not functioning properly and we're dealing with kidney disease, we're going to have a buildup of that fluid, of course. All right, just like we'd have a buildup of toxins and waste and things of that nature, leading to itchy skin. The same thing here, buildup of extra fluid. That can lead to swelling in the hands and feet. So most commonly, you're going to find swelling being caused in things like your hands, your feet, but also throughout the legs. A lot of times people will have it in the ankles. All right, that's one of the telltale signs of, our kidneys not functioning properly because it's not removing extra fluid. Now remember, kidney disease can cause a wide range of symptoms. These symptoms can be caused by other things unrelated to kidney disease. So that's why we need to make sure we speak with our medical practitioner, get blood and urine tests to nail down if we're dealing with any kidney disease or kidney-related issues. Kathleen, good morning to you. I hope you're doing awesome this morning, Kathleen. Big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to everyone in chat right now listening. Sonia, Kathleen, Brown, Veer, Jair, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys coming in. Like I said, we might be going a little bit fast, but I want to make sure that you guys get as many signs and symptoms of kidney disease, because there are a lot, and we need to make sure that we're not just focusing on one. Because, like I mentioned previously, just because you have lower back pain, a lot of people will immediately think that they have some sort of kidney issue. Not always the case. In fact, it's very seldom that that's the case. All right. It's also that it could be a sign or symptom, all right, but often it's usually not. All right, a lot of time it could be tight muscles like we talked about before, psoas muscles, adductors, your hips, things of that nature, piriformis. The list goes on and on. There's a number of reasons why we could be dealing with lower back pain. That's why it's important to go and speak with your medical practitioner. So not only can we get swelling in the feet or hands, all right, but also legs, ankles, but also another one, since our body is not removing extra fluid, all right, we're getting a buildup of fluid because, again, as we mentioned, two of the main functions, to be honest, is controlling water balance and maintaining electrolyte balance. The two go hand in hand, right? Another one, you could be dealing with swelling in the face, all right? So it's almost like people will say that their face looks puffy or swollen, all right? A lot of the times people with kidney disease will notice a little bit of, water being held in the face. The face looks more puffy. All right. So interesting on that one. We could be having swelling in the hands or feet most commonly. A lot of times we'll find it in the ankles, but we'll also, notice more excess fluid, all right, building up, all right, and causing swelling in the face. Puffy face is often a common symptom here. All right, so another one here, guys. Let's continue to move on. All right, another one here. We've gone over a lot, so you can jot these down, guys. I want to make sure that we're getting to as many as we can in the time that we have. Another one will be feeling nauseous. All right, having an upset stomach, digestive related issues. Again, this is because of a buildup of waste in the blood. Something that's going to happen, all right, or can be a potential to happen. We're going to have a greater risk of this occurring if our kidneys are not functioning properly. We're dealing with some sort of kidney disease related issue. If we're dealing with kidney failure, absolutely one of the big ones because of buildup of waste in the blood. Right, can cause nausea, could even cause upset stomach or digestive issues, sometimes even vomiting. All right, so we need to make sure that we're aware of that as well. Right now, another one that goes with that, a lot of the times people who are dealing with kidney issues, kidney disease, are going to have a lack of appetite. All right, like I said, digestive related issues. All right, so loss of appetite, you might notice that you're losing weight. Again, one of the potential signs and symptoms of kidney disease. Again, remember, we need to take this all into consideration. Think of all the ones that we've mentioned before. I think I'm on number 7 or 8. I can't quite remember. I'm kind of going off the top of my head now, off my list. But, all of these taken together. All right, just because you have dry, itchy skin, again, does not mean that you have kidney disease necessarily. It could be a sign or symptom of it, but we need to make sure, the more and more signs and symptoms, the more and more important it is to speak with your doctor. All right, so upset stomach, vomiting, nausea, feeling sick, all right, loss of appetite, could be losing weight, things of that nature, all right. And again, all right, you'll hear people say, my cognitive, I've been having issues with memory, cognitive function, been feeling itchy a lot, my stomach's been upset, all right. I start to notice that I'm feeling nauseous a lot. Things of that nature, guys. Weak and tired, all right? Maybe my hands and feet are swelling. That's when it really becomes, very, very important that you speak to your doctor. When you have this combination of signs and symptoms, we need to go and speak to our doctor to get the right tests. Remember, urine and blood tests will tell us if we actually have kidney disease. Remember, I already said, a lot of people will almost self-diagnose just with lower back pain. All right, but we need to make sure that we get the test. Thank you so much for the 18 thumbs up there, guys. Again, really appreciate you all. Another one that's going to be occurring, all right? We know that we remove excess waste, all right, water through the kidneys. If the kidneys are not functioning properly, we know the kidneys, all right, to do this, all right, creation of urine occurs, all right? But what happens, all right, when our kidneys are failing, all right, the timing, all right, of urination, all right, might be a little bit compromised. So one of the signs and symptoms is that we might be getting up during the night a lot, all right, maybe to go to the washroom. That's another big one for us that we have to make sure that we're paying attention to, all right? So getting up during the night to go to the washroom can be a sign and symptom of kidney disease. Now, the interesting thing is, it feels like you have to go to the washroom, but it doesn't really happen, all right? So you have the feeling that you have to go to the washroom, all right? But we're not really actually going. You just have that feeling, all right, of you to urinate, all right? More often, all right, it could be in greater amounts, but it's often going to be pale, all right? And sometimes a lot of people have difficulty urinating, all right? So we might feel like we have to go, but it might be difficult for us to urinate, all right? Because we're not getting rid of that excess fluid, all right? We're not getting rid of those waste and toxins, okay? Remember, the kidneys help to control water balance, maintain electrolyte balance, get rid of toxins and waste. So again, we might be feeling like we have to go to the washroom. All right, we might be getting up often during the middle of the night, but again, we might not be creating, all right, or we might have difficulty urinating. All right, a lot of times people will get up, multiple times, feeling like they have to go to the washroom, but it actually does not happen. All right, and a lot of times you'll find that when they're urinating, if you do have urination and you are dealing with kidney disease, all right, it's usually pale in color, all right, so we have to make sure that we're aware of that. But we also have to be aware of, we could have different colors, all right, that we're not used to when we urinate, all right, because we're dealing with kidney disease, a vital organ, all right, that has all of those proper and important functions. So we could be dealing with red or purple urine, all right, kind of color, even brown, all right. Sometimes the urine may contain blood, all right, might be darker than usual, all right. If this is occurring, you immediately want to speak with your medical practitioner, all right. A lot of times that's a big one for kidney disease, guys, all right. So just make sure that we're aware, all right, of all of those signs, just because we know that the kidneys are so important in creating our hormone EPO, red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout the body. So fatigue, feeling cold. Another big one is feeling faint and weak if we're not getting the proper amount of oxygen, especially carried to the brain through red blood cells. Same thing with trouble thinking, all right? Cognitive issues. Another one is swelling in the hands and feet, sometimes in our ankles and legs as well. Sometimes we might be holding that excess fluid in our face, causing it to swell. Puffy face is often described as, all right? Another one is going to be nausea, upset stomach, all right? We could be feeling like we have to urinate a lot where we're not actually doing it, so we're getting up in the middle of the night, feeling like we have to go 3 or more times a night, but we're not actually going to the washroom, or we're having difficulty urinating. And then the other thing, you want to pay attention, all right, to the color of your urine, right? Is it red, purple, brown, dark colored in nature? Is it containing blood? All right, if it does, please make sure you immediately speak with your medical practitioner. All right, I think that's very, very important. All right. So again, just because we're dealing with lower back pain, all right, does not mean that we're speaking about kidney disease or that's a necessary sign and symptom. If you're dealing with it chronically, if you have, for the lower back pain, all right, of course, speak with your medical practitioner. But these signs and symptoms, all right, are going to be more if you have chronic kidney disease and you're not getting treatment, all right? So it's happening over time, leading more and more to kidney failure, all right? Our kidneys aren't functioning properly. A lot of the times has to do with chronic kidney disease rather than acute. I mean, if we're all the way up to where our urine is brown, purple, or red, there's blood in the urine, we know that we're not really in early stages anymore of kidney disease. We're more so in that chronic, all right, kidney disease area. So even more important, you can go back and listen to the stream that we did before where we talked about important foods for kidney health, all right? Now we're talking about those signs and symptoms, all right? The only way to know, all right, what's causing, all right, your signs and symptoms is to see your doctor and to get a blood test and a urine test. But, knowing these signs and symptoms, all right, having these signs and symptoms and knowing them, all right, can allow us to go and get those tests and maybe make sure that we're going to get those tests and seeing our doctor, because if we're dealing with these, especially with a combination, or we're dealing with them on a day-to-day basis, we definitely want to go and get checked. All right, we want our doctor to make sure that we're getting those proper tests and dealing with kidney disease. There's things that we need to do to reverse, all right, to help prevent kidney disease, like we talked about the foods, limiting certain minerals, electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. Those are probably three of the more important ones. So I would make sure that we're doing that, guys. So I know I threw a lot of signs and symptoms at you right there. Again, if you're in chat, you're more than welcome to ask your questions. Focus on those signs and symptoms, guys, all right? And also go back and listen to foods that can help to prevent and keep our kidneys functioning properly. All right. Again, I know that we sort of doubled up on kidneys a little bit here, but it's super important. As we know, over 10% of the world population, even a little bit more in the Western world, all right, is dealing with some sort of kidney disease or kidney disease itself, all right, which can, over time, if we're dealing with chronic kidney disease, can lead to kidney failure, which we want to stay away from absolutely. So we know that's going up and up. A lot of it has to do with those risk factors: obesity, smoking, diabetes, which is going up, high blood pressure, which is absolutely going up, hypertension. So a third of individuals are dealing with, some sort of health-related issue for our heart health. So we know kidney disease is on the rise, and so are the risk factors. All right. 10% it might not sound like a lot, all right, but if you're thinking about 10% of just individuals in the United States, that's tens of millions of individuals who are dealing with kidney disease. If you look at Canada, much lower population, it's still millions and millions of individuals who are dealing with kidney disease. So that's why it's so important to know the signs and symptoms. That's why I think it's important to maybe go back and listen to the other discussion we talked about in our live. All right, so foods that can help to keep the kidneys healthy, because they're such a vital organ. All right, remove waste and toxins, control water balance, control blood pressure, activate vitamin D. Super important, guys. Produce red blood cells, EPO. All right, so make sure that we know those signs and symptoms. Thank you so much for the 20 thumbs up there, guys. I really appreciate it. So the signs and symptoms we know. Make sure you speak with your medical practitioner, especially if you're dealing with a combination over time of these signs and symptoms. I just want to thank all of the members. All right, again, all right, if you're a Fit Team member and you have not received your nutrition guide, I would love for you to please send me an email so I can get that book out to you. I'd love some feedback on the book. I was very happy with how it came out. I hope it was helpful for all of you guys. I hope this stream today was very helpful for you as well. You got some good value out of it. What are some signs and symptoms? This could be easily be a huge breakdown in a video in and of itself. All right, remember we talked a little bit about creating videos where we have visual cues. All right, so written down, me discussing on camera. All right, what are the signs and symptoms of kidney disease? We could very easily break it down. I know we went through a lot of the signs and symptoms. There can be quite a few just because of all of the important roles that the kidneys play. All right, so that's why we went over quite a few of them. All right, everything from cognitive issues to feeling cold to purple, brown, or blood in our urine. All right, swelling, all of those different things. All right, so again, if you need to go back and listen, all right, we put them out there nice and quick. I wanted to make sure that we were giving all those signs and symptoms. We weren't wasting any time. That way you guys could make sure that you got all of those signs and symptoms and that you got good value and we were learning from the stream today. So big shout out to everyone. Again, if you're interested in those one-on-one consultations, again, email me at foodsforhealth1@gmail.com. All right, I have a few people that I'm coaching right now. Right, that it's going great with. Happy, very happy working with them. Coaching one-on-one, also consultations that are happening. Just had a consultation 2 days ago. All right, so very happy with that, with how that's going. All right, again, we can speak about if you're dealing with certain issues, if you want weight loss, if you want to just focus on overall health. All right, exercising. All right, I think just even booking one consultation can be a great start to improving your nutrition, to improving your overall health, and making 2022 the best year that you can. All right, because we can talk about things like kidney disease, we can talk about things like weight loss. All right, so a bunch of different areas that we can go, and I really enjoy that service and providing it for you. So thank you everyone for joining today's stream. I hope you guys got good value learning a little bit about the functions of the kidneys, why it's so important. If you want some foods to help promote kidney health, go back and listen to, I think it was a couple of live streams ago where we talked about those foods. But today, all right, those signs and symptoms, those vital signs and symptoms that we need to be aware of, all right, that could potentially be related to kidney disease. And make sure that you speak with your medical practitioner. So thank you everyone. I appreciate having you in stream today. I hope you got good value out of the discussion. All right, we were rolling this morning, up nice and early, right at 7 a.m. Great having you in here. So thank you everyone. All right, again, that nutrition guide is available to all Fit Team members if you join. That's one of the perks. Going to be coming out with 3 books this year. All right, I already have the next one in mind. I'm taking a little bit of a break, I'll be honest. After that last one, I think it's best to take a little bit of a break. All right, it took me a couple months to write that last one. All right, but again, the perks for our Fit Team members, all right, getting those 3 ebooks. Other perks are going to be coming out as well. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much to all the Fit Team members. Thank you everyone who came into chat today and we discussed those signs and symptoms of kidney disease. And thank you everyone who supports the channel through our super chat function. We could not do this without you guys supporting the channel. Even giving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, listening to the live chats. I really do appreciate it, guys. So thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Like I said, I'm very happy with how this community is. All right, one of the best communities in my opinion. All right, in talking about nutrition, fitness, different diseases. We go a bunch of different routes on this channel. Healthy nutrition, but also, sorry about that if you heard that. All right, a bunch of nutrition. All right, but also, speaking a little bit about different diseases. So I hope you guys, again, got great value. Hope you guys have an amazing Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening to this later, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate having you there. All right, and again, have a happy, healthy, safe Wednesday. I will talk to you at the latest on Sunday morning, and I will make sure we put a reminder up there. We'll move away from kidneys. All right, I think we've gone over that in good depth. We'll move it on. All right, and we'll go on to our next discussion. All right, we can break these down. Now that I'm getting a little bit quicker, talking about some vitamins and minerals would be very, very important. We talked about vitamin D before. We talked about vitamin K. All right, we can break those down even to our vitamins, why certain vitamins and minerals are important. All right, I think that's going to be a big one for us as well. Well, I appreciate that, Sonia. Thank you very much. Member of the channel, Sonia, very much appreciate you. Appreciate having you part of the community. Appreciate working with you, Sonia. So thank you very much for the kind comments there. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful day, Sonia. Stay safe. All right, guys. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Email me if you need any help. I would be happy to help you in any way. Right? And again, thank you to our FIT team members and for everyone joining this morning, nice and early, talking about nutrition, talking about the signs and symptoms of kidney disease. So have a safe, happy, healthy Wednesday. I will speak to you guys soon in the next coming days, perhaps maybe earlier than Sunday. We'll see. All right, but we're scheduled for Sunday. I'll let you guys know. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. Have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.